choosing to believe that, it's like you still get to be confident about your life choices because you can find a way through mental gymnastics to look down on that person.
I was running from the darkness. I mean, times were dark. I was deeply in debt and I had a family and I'm trying to start a business. I'm trying to do my work. I'm trying to fulfill my purpose, even though I don't even know what it is. I'm just running. Why do you guys are like that? Run. You should run because you shouldn't live in darkness. But if you keep on running, you're gonna see that light. You're gonna see that little at the end of the tunnel. It just looks in the beginning, it just looks like a little circle. That's when things start working out a little bit. You start to say, hey, I'm getting the hang of this, I'm getting some rewards from this, and as you keep going towards it, what happens to that little circle, right? It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You just keep running, and you start to feel the euphoria, the passion, the excitement associated with getting closer and closer and closer until it starts to absorb you. Don't quit on the unknown, because every day when things go wrong, they sometimes will. When the road that you treasure seems all uphill, when cares are pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queer with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. The affair you turned about, though he might have won had he stuck it out. So don't give up, though the pace seems slow. You might succeed with just another blow. Success is made turn inside out, the silver tip to the cloud of doubt. You never know how close you are. You might be near, but you seem so far.
You never know how close you are. You might be near, but we seem so far. Oh my goodness. Talk about a bar of the day. Love it, love it, love it. How is everybody feeling coming into this morning? TGIM August 14th. Super excited. A lot of greatness is coming in to the month of August. I see it in the chat. I see so many amazing things are manifesting right now. I'm seeing individuals getting out to events. I'm seeing ka-chings. I'm seeing people launching their stores, full-blown products up everywhere. I'm seeing 39%, 10% for the morning. So great start to the day. I'm loving the message to go ahead and keep the energy fired up coming in to go ahead and start this amazing week. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get into it. Cedric in the building. JoJo, I see you. Let's go. Tapped in Finley. Johnny in the building. It's great to see everybody. As always, let's get a little bit of gratitude down. What's everybody grateful for coming into the week? How was the weekend, right? Any time with the family, some self-care Sundays, self-care Saturdays. What is everybody excited and grateful for coming into the beginning of the week? Let me know. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about a very powerful one. It's going to be titled, as you can see, the light at the end of the tunnel, right? So this one's super deep. Here in my favorite place, the sauna after the gym. I love it. JoJo, Anissa getting in the early morning workout, getting the vibrating, moving. Motion causes emotion is so important to understand. Cedric getting the alkaline water in. I love it. Let's go. Keep it flowing. Great for the body. Grateful to be healthy. Absolutely. So grateful to be alive. Grateful for God. So thankful to be healthy. Grateful to be on here with every single one of you. I'm seeing the morning routines. I'm seeing the morning rituals. Today, actually, in fact, is day 390 days of really writing down the vision, getting it plain, feeling out the future before it even happens, right? That's what they say. The secret is the feeling, right? This is a big reason why we journal, is to be able to go ahead and get the feeling of having that dream body, of getting those ka-chings, of having those amazing relationships become magnetic into our life. So super excited for everything that is here. Grateful for everything that is on the way, right? Because it's already done. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today, dreamers, we're going to be talking about the light at the end of the tunnel, okay? And I want to give you all a story to go ahead and start this one off. For those of you who have seen it, some of you haven't. Mills in the building. Austin, I see you. Happy Monday. Let's go. Yo, this topic is going to be a good one. Stay tuned. All right, so check this out. Here's my story for everybody. The light at the end of the tunnel. You ready? You see, there's a story in Think and Grow Rich in chapter 1, right? Some of you heard this, some of you haven't, but today I believe it might give you a little bit of perspective to see where you are, where we all are in this journey, okay? So inside chapter 1, there's an individual who has all of these big tools, and they're going out mining, right? They're out looking for gold. They spend weeks, they spend months, and they come across this huge pile of all of this unexpected gold, right? They're super excited, and they actually go back. They do some research, and they take the information to somebody who has a lot more knowledge than them. And they say with their predictions, by them being able to go ahead and keep digging, they're going to be able to actually find some goals. You know what? They keep digging, keep digging, keep digging, keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. He doesn't end up finding it. You know what he does? He ends up quitting. He ends up completely stopping, and he ends up selling all of this materials that he bought to go ahead and mine this gold. And he ends up selling all this equipment to a passerby, right? And the passerby ends up taking this equipment, and guess what he ends up doing? He ends up taking this, and he eventually digs a little bit farther than where the last individual left off. And guess what? He ended up coming across one of the biggest gold mines ever in history, and he went on to also become one of the biggest successful insurance agents of all time, right? So the moral of the story is, how many of us have been feeling like we've been digging, we've been going at things for a long time, and we just haven't seen the success that we're looking for. 11:11, paint your vision, right? I know what this feels like, but here was the difference. At the end of the day, just like we heard right there at the beginning, we never know how far we really are. We can be so near, but it seems so far. That term is crucial. So if there's one big lesson that I learned along this journey, here's a big one to go ahead and write down. Ready? However we feel how far away we are, that is the level of action a lot of times that we're going to take, right? If we feel like this is such a huge journey, such a mountain to climb, we're never going to be able to get there. Guess what? We're not even going to have enough action to even go out and be able to take each necessary step to continuously climb that mountain, to be able to continuously climb our way out of this tunnel towards the light. So let's go ahead and get into this training for today, right? 3 feet from gold. Some people ask me all the time, D, how are you still going 5-6 years later? Because I've read the story 3 feet from gold. Just because the success that we've envisioned hasn't come our way yet doesn't mean that it's not processing, doesn't mean that it's not pending right now. There might be a little bit more lessons that we need to learn, a little bit more experiences that we can go ahead and gain to go ahead and be ready to handle that type of income, that type of success inside of our lives. Because truth be told, we are exactly where it is that we need to be right now. That's the truth, right? How it is we've been thinking, our thoughts has led us to where we are now. And what's going to change in the future is going to allow us to experience a completely different atmosphere. You ready? So here we go. Let's start off the training. First thing I want to talk about, we're talking about the light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. Why do so many people live until 75, but they die at 25 mentally? This is the exact reason right here. Most people, they lost the light. They lost the light at the end of the tunnel. This is why in the Bible, it even says it right there. Without a vision, what? Who can go ahead and finish for me? Without a vision, the people, what? The people perish, right? Stuck in the matrix, their dreams die. So if there's one major piece to really get from this training, is to understand how important it really is to go ahead and make sure that we have that vision towards the light. So if you know how powerful that is, this is exactly why it is that we put out content. How many people are living right now without a vision, without any light in their life? They're waking up negative in a dark room, running back to the past, running back to all the negative things that has happened in ourselves previously. It's one of the worst things that all of us can do waking up. How do I know? Because I've been there. I know what it's like to wake up depressed. I know what it's like to wake up and you walk outside and you can't even feel the sunshine because we're so stuck being anxious, right? They say there's two sides. We're either anxious about the future or we're worried about the past. Two worst ways to live, living in the future and living in the past. That's why they say that the present is a gift. Because if you're think about if we're driving right now. If we're driving, looking in the rear view, we're looking in the past all day long, we're going to crash. We're not going to be able to get very far if we keep looking back the whole time. Same thing going up the tunnel. If we keep trying to climb this tunnel, keep looking back, we're never going to be able to keep going to where it is that we want to go. So step number 1 is to identify the light. Here's how we start figuring out what is the light inside of our tunnel. I'll give you a hint. It starts with DMP. DMP. What's our DMP? Who can let me know down below? What is that? How does everybody find the light in their life? Your DMP, your definite major purpose. Talks about that also inside of Think and Grow Rich, right? You see, the moment that we start developing this purpose, here's the ripple effect that happens, okay? It's actually 4 steps. Go ahead and write this down. We get our purpose in line. Guess what follows once we go in and really identify our purpose? That's step 1. Step number 2, now our priorities start to shift. You see, instead of going out all the time, instead of getting distracted like I was going out 7 days a week when I was in college, wasted Wednesday, Thursday. I was doing all of that when I was in school. But guess what happened? When I found my purpose, when I was living out of my car and I had no job and I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, I got tired of people telling me what to do, when to clock in. I have a 30-minute break to go to the bathroom and come back. I got to go clean the toilet. I got tired of living that lifestyle. So you know what happened? I started to develop a definite major purpose. I started to develop a vision for life, for where I wanted to go. Because somebody asked me the most game-changing question ever, and this really helped me develop the vision. You ready? How much money an hour do you believe that you're worth? Drop it down below. How much money an hour do you believe that you're worth? $50, $100, $200? So now that we understand that, you start to see that at the end of the day, a lot of us have been playing small simply because of right here, because of our limited beliefs. So watch this. If we know we're worth more, guess what? We can also do more. And this is the shift that happened in my life. I was working 60 hours a week, right? Before I was living in my car. I was working in the morning. I was closing at nighttime. And what I had to learn, a lot of us, we work a 9 to 5, but the 5 to 9 is the biggest shift. People ask me all the time, D, what is one secret you can give to me if I'm working a full-time job? I feel like I don't have a lot of time on my hands. You work a 9 to 5, but what's happening from 5 to 9? I'd be lying to you if I told you this journey to go ahead and kick the 9 to 5, if that's something that you wish to do, is not going to be easy. There's going to be extra hours that's required to go ahead and be put in, but I promise you it's worth it. This is called seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Most people, they didn't understand why I was staying up late, why I was waking up early, why I was saying no to all the summer parties, the Super Bowl parties, going out, because I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, right? This is where vision comes in. Same thing with right now. So many people are going out. So many people are losing sight of the vision. There's never been a better time than right now to get focused. We have crypto, we have investments, we have Swipecoin, we have all these amazing trades happening right now. We have e-commerce stores to go ahead and launch and build. There's a bright light inside of our tunnel if you're able to go ahead and pay attention and realize the times that we're living in. So many people, their tunnel is completely dark. There's no reason to wake up every day. Every day is the same habitual hamster cycle wheel. And until something changes, until there's a perspective shift, it's gonna stay in the dark. That's why so many people, they're losing days, years off of their life because they don't have a vision for themselves. Huge. I work more now than when I had a 9 to 5, but it's for you this time, right? Think about that. How many of us have clocked into jobs for weeks straight, months straight, years straight, and we got up when we didn't feel like it? We went all the times when we were sick. We sacrificed vacation days. If we worked that hard for a job, I think we can work halfway as hard even for ourselves, for our own dreams, right? We at least deserve that for ourselves. Imagine going all in. Think about that. Imagine going 100% all in on our dreams, on our beliefs, on our vision, right? This is when life gets exciting. This is when they say the world literally moves out of our way and we become magnetic to all of the greatness that's always been available this whole time. We're just now getting aligned with it, right? So here's the next thing I want to talk about. We can't change the past, but here's what we can change. We can change our perspective. Say that one more time. We can't change the past, but what we can change is our perspective. You see, somebody that tells me all the time, well, D, I've tried multiple things out, but they just didn't work out for me. You see, I've tried trading out before, but I just never really saw success. Well, here's the deal. It's almost kind of like school, right? We could take the same class, but we could have 2 different professors and get 2 completely different grades. So at the end of the day, I'm not worried about where it is that you've been. I'm not worried about where you're at. I'm focused on where it is that we're going. For a lot of us, all we need is a change of perspective. The right perspective is a tool. The right perspective is an advantage. The right perspective is discipline. You see, even for myself, I've got into this space. I've done things for months, but I wasn't really being intentional. I was getting on calls just to get on calls. I was taking notes just to take notes, but I wasn't really being there to actually listen, to go implement, to go actually take some of these ink words and go out and take action with it. So this ended up being a major difference, a major shift. So here's the next piece I want to talk about. The last but not least, right? When it comes to seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, our mentor talks about how we all have a date with destiny, right? And here's the difference. Watch this. Here's what he says. Our perspective shapes our thinking. Our language shapes our world. Woo! Let that sink in. Our perspective shapes our thinking, and our thinking shapes our world. So let's break that down piece by piece. Our perspective, right? Here's what I mean by perspective. Sadhguru says this: we can either choose joy or we can choose misery. It's very binary. Every day when we wake up, if you were to go ahead and just slap a button, which one are we going to go ahead and choose for the day? Do we want to go ahead and choose joy, or do we want to go ahead and step into misery, stepping into the past, stepping into the lack, stepping into the disbelief, all the things that haven't worked out previously? Or do you want to go ahead and step into the individual that says, I am bold, I am confident, I am experiencing abundance in all different areas of my life, right? If we, and here's how we got a little bit deeper. Here's what he said. If we don't start thinking right, we won't talk right. When we don't talk right, it's tough to experience the world that we envision inside of our mind. This is why when you start really listening and getting around individuals that inside of your circle, outside of your sphere, you're going to see a big difference. Most people outside in the world, they're talking about what's not going right in the world, how many things are going wrong inside their life. And guess what's going to end up happening? Most of the time, we're going to bring about more negative things to happen inside of our life. So when you really start seeing the power of our words, this is why they say the words that we speak cast spells. So if we were to just give a check on our words that we speak today, we can start to get an idea of what it is that we're thinking. Because what we speak most of the time, we're thinking on a 10 times deeper level. Took me a long time to realize this, but it finally made sense. This is why it's so crucial to start speaking life, to start speaking abundance, start speaking success every single day. Right? If you look at the word believe, look at that middle word real quick. The middle part of that word is lie. This takes literally lying to ourselves every single day that we are growing, we are successful, even if we don't have the house, even if we don't have the bank account, even if anything that we look at is not going right in our life. You think anybody who's successful doesn't have problems? Anybody that you look at that's iconic, they also had problems. They also went through life. Jim Rohn says it too. Everybody has the wind of life. The difference is, how do we direct ourselves to be able to use that wind to propel us forward to our success? So this was my topic. This was my tips on being able to go ahead and see the light at the end of the tunnel. So let me ask you this. What is the light at the end of the tunnel for this year, right? What do you see yourself at the end of 2023? December 31st, what are some things that you're congratulating yourself about that we've accomplished in the next handful of months coming to, right? We've gotten some withdrawals. We've set up some serious listings on top of our store. We've hit a certain rank inside of the business. We've impacted this many people. What are a couple goals that we can go ahead and really get fired up and excited about for the end of 2023? And this is how we start identifying the light at the end of the tunnel. The next couple months, there's going to be winds, there's going to be rainstorms, there's going to be hail. But if we know where we're going, we're always going to be able to go ahead and stay on the path. So dreamers, with that being said, that's my training for everybody to really go ahead and start thinking about getting intentional, getting the vision clear, and understanding every one of us were designed and built for greatness, and the best is yet to come. So remember, if nobody told you today, you are powerful, you are amazing. We are going to experience a lot of momentum, quantum leaps, elevation, transformation coming into the month of August. So get ready, because we are just getting started. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Have an amazing day, Dream Team. Go out and make it happen, turning dreams into reality. Let's go.